Sensors are allowing for new avenues of data aggregation in drones. During my time at InterDrone, I caught up with Jeff Freund, Vice President of Enterprise Construction Solutions at PrecisionHawk. He explains how these small integrations are driving new methods of surveying on the job site. Let's listen to what he had to say. You guys are all about sensors in construction, so you're like an expert on all this stuff, and now we're talking drones. What do we got to talk about today?
We're going to talk about what PrecisionHawk is doing in the construction space itself and integrating the sensors and capturing better data to make our clients give them more information, better information, so they can make better decisions and increase their revenues.
You know what? You said two very important things. Get more information and increase revenues. Those are two very valuable things for the construction industry. And that's something right now, when you talk about percentage and points and dollars so minimal in construction, we have to do that. How are sensors and what you guys are doing at PrecisionHawk helping them do that?
I think just we're able to capture data with the drones much quicker than traditional methods. For example, like survey methodologies cut the survey down time to about 50%. So there's obviously cost savings just in the man hours alone. But the data we're actually capturing as well is 50 times better than the data they're getting from today's methods as well. So the more data that we can give them that's better, they can derive better decision making out of that and with their engineering teams, especially on the construction projects.
So how are you doing that? I mean, what exactly are you able to do that cuts it 50%? That's a pretty significant number when you think about that.
It's just the platform itself. So you're throwing a drone up there versus sending a team of 2 to 3 guys, surveyors in the field. The drone is doing that work for them. So 1 or 2 guys with the drone, but the drone is able to capture the entire area in far less time than you can with a traditional survey.
So give me an example. So if somebody's watching right now says, I'm still not quite sure I understand exactly what you're doing. So walk me through it.
So your traditional, for a survey project, say you're doing a roadway construction project, you're going to want to do a stakeout and a survey of that project. Today you'll go out there with your manual survey with your total stations, put your stakes in the grounds, and the guys are going to be bouncing off there and doing the work with that equipment today. The time it takes to set that up, you can have the drone in the air and capture the data ready and upload it to the cloud, and you can have that sharing with your office, with your construction office, who's doing the work or the design drawings for that project, for example. So rather than getting the traditional survey, which takes time to process and then take it back to the office, using the drones and using the different sensors that we have, you can get that information almost in real time.
So are you doing this by yourself? You have partners? How do you end up doing all this information that you're talking about?
We're capturing the data ourselves and with partners, so we don't need to be doing all of the flights. We have a lot of different partners that fly. A lot of our clients are construction companies that have their own pilots on staff that are flying their projects and sharing the information with us, and we're able to process the data for them.
So when we look at all this information today and you look at the construction companies, are construction companies starting to embrace the concept of looking at what the data they're gathering, looking at our drones are making their job sites safer, quicker, workflow, processes, collecting all this information and collaborating with BIM? They're really taking all of this seriously now?
I think we're finally getting there. Yeah, a lot of the construction industry is pretty slow to change as far as on the technology side. More and more, I think big majority, I would assume 50% or more, are integrating or playing with drones in their organizations. There's still a lot of opportunity to integrate the drone data, and that's what we're talking about. Our collaboration we have with McCarthy Construction, we're looking at how can we take this aerial imagery and create automatically 3D as-built models. How can we integrate this data with 4D models and the BIM models with the different Autodesk platforms or MicroStation Tekla? How can we use this data? It's all data in the end, right? And if we can give them much more better information again and automatically start to recreate the projects for them, I think that's going to be the game changer as we look at that in the next, probably 18 to 24 months.
So what is McCarthy and you learned so much in your partnership with that you've done with them so far as they're testing this out and really using, PrecisionHawk and what you're seeing so far?
What we learned so far is that there's so much more than just doing an aerial video and taking aerial photography of a construction site. That's what's being done today, and it's great. It's great data. But using machine learning and trying to explore with machine learning how we can actually improve job site safety, how we can look at maybe potential, construction material laydown areas on construction sites, and identify, with the machine learning project after project, how you can start to improve that and improve efficiencies on site. And that's where the contractor is going to make increase his bottom line on the projects by reducing the risk and stuff on the project.
Where do do you see this all headed now? You've testing this all out, doing this now. How long have you been doing it with McCarthy now?
McCarthy has been about the last 3 months, so we just got started with them back in June. And we're looking to, as they're flying more and more projects now from different project stages, we're looking at solar anomaly reports, some of their solar construction projects that they have. We're looking at university projects with them of doing just as the site condition assessments, and just looking at how we can, what we're going to be developing with them, and with integration with the as-built models. That we're still at the beginning forefront of that, but we got a pretty big software development team back in Raleigh that's eager to get started. So.
And looking at this going forward, where do you see the next phase of all of this taking, looking at sensors, looking at what you're doing at sites, where do you see the next big evolution?
I think if we, not if, but when we figure out the integration of the 3D, 4D models with aerial imagery and recreate digital models from the pictures, I think that's where going to be a game changer in the industry, potentially 2 to 3 years from now, as we use more drones more and more. I really believe that by 2018, every construction site should have a drone on it, and that safety officer or that project manager should be using it, be it weekly progress reports for back to substantiating his invoicing, be it safety inspections, health and safety, be it pre and post storms, floods that may happen on site, of inventory on site. The cost point is so low and the benefits are so high that every construction site should have that.
There's no doubt drones are getting smarter. Are you taking advantage of that? That's your Innovation in Tech for today.